Project Kit Clubbers, it's Demo Donna here with Sparkle and Sprinkle, and for your September multi-project kit club we have something very special in store for you. I'm going to be teaching you how to create these awesome ornaments using the Kaiser Geo Ornament set. So there is 2 of them. Here is 2 more. Lots of fun, lots of sparkles, perfect for the holidays. And then a bonus project, which is a coordinating card. So you are going to be receiving these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful foiled papers by Kaiser Craft. And these are 12 by 12 scrapbook pages. You're also going to be receiving this awesome bag of over 30 die cut images and sayings. Of course, the Geo ornaments, you are going to be getting some awesome hemp twine in your kit. We have these beautiful flower cup confettis by HAI, a brand new surprise by Tonic Studio, which is the super awesome vintage drops. And you're also getting 2 glitters and an embossing powder. So I hope you guys enjoy and leave your comments. All right, so to get started on your beautiful sparkle ornaments, you're gonna take your VersaMark, or you can also use an embossable ink. And definitely use it clear, because the embossing powder that we're using, the Hit the Beach, is a semi-transparent. So what you're gonna do is, I've got a scrap piece of paper here on my mat just so I don't get the embossing ink all over my mat and have to clean it. And I am just inking it up, and you can do 1 at a time, or you can actually ink up all of them. The embossing ink stays wet for quite some time. And I am just getting a nice, good, thick layer of embossing ink. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go on the inside. I can do the longer sides. On the smaller sides and the smaller ornaments, what you're gonna do is take your Q-tip and just really dab it in there. Now you can also, if you happen to have a re-inker for your VersaMark, you can also just squeeze out a little bit of your re-inker fluid, just like that, which is really helpful, especially for small little sections like this. You can also skip doing the inside too, and just work on the outside if you want as well. So I'm just gonna roll my Q-tip into my re-inker, and then I'm just gonna go all along the inside of my ornament, just like that. And once you have completed that, you can start adding your embossing powder. And of course it helps to remember what sides you actually hit with the ink. But if you don't, just keep doing it over and over again, right? Always a good trick. When in doubt, add more ink. Ink it out. All right, so now I'm gonna take my coffee filter, and I'm grabbing my Hit the Beach embossing powder, which comes in your multi-project kit. And I'm gonna sprinkle that on my front as well as my edges. The cool thing about this technique, you can do lots of layers. So if you want to see that natural wood behind, you can still do 1 layer. But if you want to really thicken it up and make it nice and sparkly, I'm taking away the little fluffy left behinds from my Q-tip. Okay, sprinkle all around. So now I've got a nice even coat on the inside and the front. And then you're gonna go ahead and heat set. Okay, once you have your ornament complete, you see it's got that nice metallic shimmer to it, as well as that glittery sparkle. And then in some of the places where I really put my VersaMark, my embossing ink kind of thick, it bubbled up a little bit and gave these kind of white bubbly looks. but I like it. I like that it's not totally perfect. So like once again, I am taking like whatever nature threw at me and just kind of gonna go with it because it gives it that vintage feel. Now what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna ink up all around my corners, and then I'm gonna heat set that as well. So then I have a nice complete ornament. And because I've already finished, I can just hold it all around while I heat set it, and I don't have to worry about that going anywhere because that is all heat set on top. So now that I've done that, I can just take it and dip it into my embossing powder, and I'll scoop a little bit here just to make sure it goes into the edges. Hit the Beach is so pretty. So it's a semi-transparent tannish color, and then it's got that beautiful bit of sparkle in it, and it's got the shimmer to it when it hits the light. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on with Hit the Beach. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish all around my ornament, and then we are gonna start to do the fun layering process. All right, so now we have the inside, the front, and the outside edges all sparkled up and ready to go. So you're gonna wanna repeat this with all 4 of your ornaments. Now, if you have different color embossing powder at home and you wanna switch them up and do different colors with a lot of the sparkle and sprinkle embossing powders have the glitter in them, then that would be really fun. I would recommend a black as a background would be nice. I would also maybe do just a transparent, so that's our sparkle embossing powder, which would be really lovely. And those different things will give like a solid sparkle to your ornaments. Okay, so once we have completed all of that, you get to do the fun part, which is decorate your ornament. So for starters, you've got 7 inches. I went and cut a little piece of 7 inches of my hemp twine, and I'm just simply gonna thread that in there. So I made sure it was a nice size twine so you weren't battling with trying to fit it through the holes of your ornament. So I'm just gonna take the 2 pieces together, and then I am going to just do 1 tie with the 2 pieces sticking up, pull them up, and then you've got a nice top of your ornament. So then as a gift, you can just give it like this, and then they could put the hook on it to add to their tree. Okay, so I went ahead and heat embossed all 4 of my awesome little frame ornaments. Now something you can do, which I don't have it set up to show you, but you can put photos in the back of these and then layer your beautiful die cut foil papers on top for an added embellishment. So just another really cool idea with these frames is they could also be photo frames. What I've also done in the past is I've taken, because we all save the holiday cards, I've taken people's holiday cards, and if they fit in here, you could do that family photo that they sent to you and give that a gift to them of their holiday card from the previous year. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using my dimensional glue, and you guys have received this in the past, and I am just going to start layering. So once again, these are just ideas of different things you can do with these. So have fun with all of your items in your kits, and feel free to go off the grid and do different types of things that were not created here today. That's the whole fun point of these multi-project kit clubs, is you can do a ton of different stuff. So I'm gonna take my dimensional glue and I am going to do a little layer. I'm gonna use, so obviously in your kit, there is one of everything. So what you can go ahead and do first is kind of lay a couple different things out over the ornaments and start playing and see what you like and what you don't like before you start adhering everything down. So with this one, I'm just gonna do a little tree background. You can have fun and play with things coming up at different dimensions. I wanted to do these little guys in the background, but with a dimensional adhesive. So I'm gonna pop a little dimension on them to make these two guys pop up. Remove the backs here and add them just like that. So there is one. And here is the second one. There we go. I'm gonna pick this up and just make sure it's nice and adhered from the back of it. You can also use some of your cardstock that's included to make sure you, if you want to cover in the back of it, you can do that as well. And I am going to layer this guy right on front here. Just like that. A little 'tis the season. And then with my hemp ribbon, I just went back and forth and created a little bow. Really simple technique. So you're just gonna take some of your hemp ribbon provided. You can do like 3 fingers and just wrap it back and forth and then pinch that in the middle, take an extra piece and tie it together. And that is how you can create a really nice little bow, and I'm gonna be sticking that right here on top. Just adding a little bit more of my dimensional glue. And that's gonna dry nice and clear. And now the last part is I'm gonna add some glitter. So I'm just going to simply take my dimensional glue again. Just a little here and a little there on top of my trees. And this is just gonna add a little sparkle. Remember, your glue does dry clear. So it might seem really white at first, but once this is nice and dry, you'll just have that beautiful sparkle. Okay, so we are gonna do that. Take our coffee filter. Helps if you let that dry. You can also use your really, really simple and fun glue dots. Okay, so I'm adding my Diamond Dust glitter, which is right here, a really popular glitter by Sparkle and Sprinkle. Nice and fun for the holidays. Isn't that so fun? I love it. Nice and sparkly. What a great little ornament. And now I'm going to just add another little fun embellishment, and that is going to be our beautiful flowers, and these are by HIA, and those also come in your kit. So I'm just gonna add a couple of these as embellishments. So I'm gonna do 2 over here and 1 over there, and just another added little embellishment. You can use your jewel picker if you'd like. These are really dimensional, so they're pretty easy to pick up with your fingers. And really fun. The best part about the holidays is you can layer away, layer and layer and layer. And the glitter and all of the different embellishments just really add that extra special look to it. Here's that moment where my little jewel picker will come in handy. So I could just flip this guy over. There we go. And you get plenty of these. You can decorate these with your cards. Go check out our Sparkle and Sprinkle Instagram and you will see a lot of the HAI embellishments used. And you know, I'm just gonna throw one more down here and maybe one more down here. And like I said, your dimensional glue is gonna dry nice and clear. It is stuck in my finger now. There we go. And one more. And you could see these have a tiny little hole in the center. So some of the dimensional glue is sticking out. You can even go ahead and pour, which is a fun little trick, some more of your diamond dust over that. And then when that dries, you'll have a nice little glittery center. So I'm gonna just do a little sprinkle, sprinkle of the diamond dust. Tap that off. And there we go. We have a very cute little ornament with a beautiful foiling on it. You've got your embossing powder and your glitter and your diamond dust. And that is one of the 4. All right, so next we are going to decorate this one of the 4. So we did the cute triangle. You've also got the square, which I just started layering a couple things on here, so we'll go over that one, the circle, and then here is the rectangle. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my dimensional glue. I've got an idea of how I wanna lay this out using the poinsettias and an ornament and one of the cute reindeers and then a larger poinsettia on the back. So I am first going to layer this here. So I'm going to add a little adhesive on the back. And I'm using the dimensional glue. And just like, I think I'm going to have a little bit more sticking out on the edge. So just like that. So it's nice because you can really play with the dimension of using the back of the frame and the front of the frame as well. So that will help give more of a 3-dimensional look. All right, and next I am gonna use my little deer, but I'm gonna glue him to the back of my poinsettia here. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of my dimensional glue and then layer my poinsettia like so, like he's peeking out of the beautiful poinsettia plants. You know, very realistic. Okay, and then I am going to, again, just use my dimensional glue to glue him right on. Just like that. And then next I am going to glue my little poinsettia here up on the top corner. Right like that. And then I'm gonna add this little Christmas joy ornament. Right about there. And you are going to be receiving plenty of hemp ribbon, a nice plenty of the hemp twine. A really simple way to make a bow is to just do the 2 knots together. So you make 2 loops. This is a really simple way to make any size bow because then you can play with it. You can make it teeny. I know some people are bow challenged out there. So this is a really easy way to do it. And then you see how I'm changing the size on it. So I want a nice little teeny bow, just like that. And then I'm gonna trim the little edges. And then I'm gonna glue that here, but I'm gonna, excuse me, I'm gonna do that last. So I've got my cute little bow there. So next what we are gonna work on is adding our beautiful flower confettis by HAI, which come in your kit. And then we are also going to add some sparkle, some of that glitter. So I am gonna take my dimensional glue. I'm gonna add a nice chunk there and throw in some of my beautiful little flower confettis. And these are, once again, pretty easy to pick up because they have some rounded edges to them. But you can also use your jewel picker if you'd like to. Instead, I am using my finger tools, which, you know, with longer nails, it gets kind of tricky. All right, and I'm gonna do 3 up here as well. And then, there we go. So we get a nice layered center of our poinsettias. Isn't that beautiful? Excuse me. All right, and I'm gonna take my dimensional glue now, and I'm just gonna come around the edges. So I'm just gonna go around the edges of my poinsettia, and my glue is gonna dry clear like this one here. So you can see how it just does a soft touch of that sparkle once your glue dries. So while I'm doing it now, and you're gonna see my wet glue, it's gonna appear white. But like I said, this is gonna dry and just be nice, beautiful, and sparkly. So I'm kind of tracing the flower petals. And then I'm gonna do a little edging on my outer poinsettia. So it's nice and sparkly. You can never have too much sparkle for the holidays. That is a crafting must for the holidays. Lots of sparkle and holiday cheer. All right, that is good to me. And you see how easy it is to use the dimensional glue and, you know, shove your twine in it. There we go. Okay, I am now gonna take my coffee filter and sprinkle, oh my goodness, there we go. Sprinkle the diamond dust right over there and right over this one. And this goes right into those cute little openings on your confetti as well. So that will complete the little centers. Give it a little tap, just like that. And this will dry nice and clear, and you'll just have that bit of sparkle. So the last little touch I'm gonna do on this one is I'm gonna add my little bow right here on top of my Christmas Joy ornament, just by adding a little drop of dimensional glue. And just like that. And now you've got 2 of your ornaments complete. And they just look so cute. What great little gifts. And I'm gonna complete the other 2. I might speed them up because I'm just repeating the process. So I'm gonna speed these up, but at least you could see like 2 additional ideas. So I'm gonna take my square one, and what I've already done is tied on one of the cute little cutouts of the snowflakes to just have like a dangly effect. And now I'm gonna speed it up by layering up all my goodies. All right, now here is my last ornament. So we've got all 4 beautiful, fun, sparkly, embossed, glittered, and confettied ornament collection. And next I'm going to be showing you an awesome little card that you can make to go along with this great and unique gift for the holidays. All right, so to get ready on our card that is going to go perfectly and really set the tone for the gift if you gift the ornaments that you just created, you are going to be receiving these 4 specialty paper, and we have a limited amount of quantities available on all of these because they are limited edition scrapbook paper done for the holidays by Kaiser Crafts. So make sure if you are not a Kit Club member that you purchase these right away because these papers are not going to last for very long. So the 4 papers you are going to be receiving are Radiance, which is a beautiful, it's got the rose gold foiling. embedded into the paper. Isn't that gorgeous? And then the back side is this beautiful like bubble washed look, which really just is just gorgeous. I just love it. So you're receiving one of each of these specialty cardstocks. The next one is glistening, and again, this has beautiful foiled snowflakes and just really coordinates so well with everything you're going to be receiving in your kit. And on the back of this, you've got a beautiful polka dotted pattern. And then remember with Kaiser Crafts cardstocks that the label of all of them you can use for borders. So don't just discard those and cut that off. Make sure you be aware of that when you're cutting your papers. The third one is Auroral, and this is really beautiful. So these are all from the Sparkle collection that we are working with on this kit. And the back side is, again, another foiled. So these are all, they're specialty papers from this line because they all have the rose gold foiling on the paper, which is really beautiful. A really fun technique to do, but when it's already done for you, it's nice to just use it and get the benefits of all of its beauty. So that is the third one. And then the fourth one that you're going to be receiving has all of these great saying. Again, it has the floral on it, and this is luster, and the back coordinates well with those polka dots, which are some more snowflakes. So for your card, really quick, if you haven't used a sheet like this before, it's easy to see right away your cut lines. So you're going to cut this you're going to do 3 cuts to give you 4 strips of sayings. And if you cut it this way, it makes it really easy to use it with your paper cutter. So you're going to need a 12 by 12 cutter. I've got my really fantastic travel one, and then I also have my really large guillotine, which is awesome, what I love using. So here are the cut lines. You're going to do a nice straight cut here, and then you're going to do a nice straight cut here, and then you're going to do a nice straight cut here. And that makes it so you don't have to fussy cut through all of this. And then you can go ahead and like chop these up, and it makes it really easy to chop all of these out. Now, if you just want to use a couple of these, then I recommend fussy cutting if you want to use some of this to create a card. So it's totally up to you. I like cutting them apart and using all of these sayings, and then if there's a saying I'm not going to use, I can flip it over and use the back side and have it for layering. So for the card that I'm going to show you to create, the 2 things that you're going to cut out is Spreading Christmas Cheer right over here, and then Live, Love, and Sparkle. Those are the 2 sayings that we are going to be using for our card. I also thought it would be fun to layer inside, May your Christmas be bright and merry. So you can trim that one out if you want to have a little saying inside. There's a lot of options. And once again, this is part of the Multi-Project Kit Club, and there are a ton of different things that you could do with the stuff that I'm providing you. I'm just showing you a couple things that I did, and then you can go from there. All right, so to get started, we are going to be making a 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 square card. You have a couple options. You can actually make this your card base. So that's what I went ahead and did, is I made this my card base. If you want to save because you're just getting 1 sheet each of the paper, you can do a 5 1/4, 5 1/4 and put that onto white cardstock. So that's also an option. So once I went ahead and I trimmed the base out of the Radiance, and you could do the orientation if you want going this way. You could be, pay attention to that, or I just cut and folded mine and totally didn't pay attention until after the fact. So my first layering is going to be with the Radiance, and this is pink. Sorry, this is Auroral, not Radiance, this base here. And then this is Radiance, and this is the pink one, and I went ahead and put a little Tear-ific tape. And this first layer is a 5 by 5. So my base is 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, and you are going to be receiving the 5 1/2 by 5 1/2 envelopes. So I'm going to lay that down. That is going to be my first layer of my card. My second layer is the back side of the pink, which is going to be from the Radiance cardstock as well. And this is 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. And I just thought this cardstock was gorgeous, so I really wanted to incorporate a card idea with this month's video and our multi-project kit club, because the holidays are coming and it's always nice to have some gifts just handy. So now you've got your first 3 layers, your card base, layer pink, and then the marble. Next, what we're gonna do is take a little background here. So that is the auroral, same as our card base. And now if you have any white edges, you can use your Metro Gray. It's not included in the kit, but it's a really great gray ink. If you don't have a gray ink, I highly recommend it. I normally use a sponge for this, but I'm just grabbing what's handy, because I don't have my little sponge sitting next to me, obviously. Okay, so that goes really well. Plus, if you want to do some stamping, the Metro Gray looks really great with this paper collection. All right, so my next layer is the snowflakes, and this is the glistening, and this is 5 by 3 1/4. So I'm gonna layer that on with like a 1/8 inch border, just like that. And then that is going to be layered on my card front. And you can use your Tear-ific tape for this. You can use your tape roller. Sometimes on the foiling edges, the adhesive doesn't stick very well. So just make sure that you're getting paper and foil. Okay, so I am going to put that up here at an angle. And I want to leave room because we are going to be using our vintage drops. These are brand new, and these are a matte finish. Really cool. There's a couple different kinds of these available, the different colors, and they're really beautiful. Make sure you check them out on the Sparkle and Sprinkle website. And why I'm telling you that is because you want to make sure you leave some room for your corners. So I'm going to layer that, and I don't want it sticking out too much because it's got to fit in the envelope. So I'm just going to have it go over my edge just a smidge, like right there. Okay. And you could even trim this a little smaller if you're concerned about that fitting in your envelope. But I love the hangover look. The hangover look. Ha! I love the hanging over the edges. The hangover look is never a good look for me. All right. So here's my Love and Sparkle. I went ahead with my Metro Gray around my edges and just gave it a really light bit of shadowing. And I am going to take off my Tear-ific tape, and I'm going to layer that on this piece here of auroral again. And this is a 4.5 by 2.5. Now, if you are not a multi-project kit club member, then you will not know that we give you full instructions with all of our kits, and the instructions include the measurements of everything. So next, what I did is I took that spreading Christmas cheer that I told you to cut out in the beginning, and I cut it in half, and then I layered it on a piece of the auroral paper. And this, I'm going to use just the snowflakes as a background. So I just wanted you to see that there's some other design element in there. You don't always have to use the sayings on your little added bonus page with all of the different sayings on them. For those sayings, you can layer them. There's a lot of different options there. So I wanted you to see one of them here. So I am going to take my snowflakes and just put them like that. And then I'm going to do the same with this one here, just covering up the words. And layer that. So now I've got my base here. I'm going to remove all the backing tape. we go. And now I am going to go ahead and add that right there. Really fun. Now from all of your beautiful little cutouts that we use to create our ornaments, I grabbed these little snowflakes that I thought would go great with this card because I'm really focusing on the gray and black and pink theme. I'm gonna layer those and do a little pop-up right here. And then now we're going to embellish. So like I said, you can add one of your sayings in there if you want to do that. You can layer like a gray cardstock in there with one of your sayings. You can use some of your leftovers from your cutouts, and you can make plenty of cards with all of the different goodies that you have left over. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add some of my awesome, beautiful flower confettis using my dimensional glue. And since you watched this with the cards, I'll go ahead and speed it up. But we are going to load this up with beautiful flower confettis and dimensional glue. And then we're going to finish up with some vintage drops. All right, so fast forward. Okay, once you've finished all of your sparkles, you're going to add your diamond dust. All your sparkles once you finish all your glittery flowers. All right, and that is going to go and cover up any of the exposed glue and make it nice and sparkly. And I even added a little through here. And don't flick too hard. You don't want to pop off your flowers. All right. There you go. And next, we are going to be adding our vintage drops, and then you're going to let this dry and have an adorable coordinating card. So the vintage drops are really cool. They're brand new. And the nice thing about the vintage drops is they have a matte finish to them. So you're going to take all this beautiful foil and this sparkle and everything, and now I'm going to add something pretty subtle. So I'm going to go ahead and just simply apply my vintage drop. So I'm just doing a little squeeze and then a nice lift. If you've never worked with your crystal drops before, I would definitely give it a practice run and just try it out on some scrap paper, or you can use your mat. Over here, what's nice too is I usually play with them on my mat and lay them all out, and I decide what I want to use that way. So that's a fun way to do them, because once they dry, you can pop them off and then really play around with what colors work best for your projects. So we went crystal drop crazy with this one, but that was the whole point. I wanted something really fun. I'm gonna add some here inside of my snowflakes. A little bit more. It's not my stomach growling. I hope you can't hear that. So embarrassing. And I really wanted like a fun Christmas party kind of look. Lots of confetti, lots of sparkle, lots of embellishments. And I think we achieved it. So here we go. So it's nice and wet right now. In the photo of the intro, you could see where it's got that matte finish. And now these coordinate nicely with our ornaments. And I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions or comments, please feel to leave them below and we will answer them. And thanks so much, and have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye-bye.